Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am DDO's community manager, Cordovan, and I'm about ready to turn up my microphone. This is all pre-roll, I guess, now. Okay. I'm now at my volume that I'm going to be. I noticed for some reason I've got something automatically adjusting my mic. So I have to keep readjusting it at the start of the show, unless I think about doing it ahead of time, which I did not this time. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. I've got a couple of short business notes that's going to end up just being cut from the final highlight and all that sort of thing. But I wanted to make sure I got the word out because I could use a little bit of feedback here. I am aware that the video quality of the last couple of weeks' shows has not been very good. And I've been trying to troubleshoot that on my end. And I think I actually made it worse by increasing the bit rate of my streams. For those who don't know, the way you do it, like for Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, is you set aside a certain amount of bitrate, essentially, of your upload bandwidth to allocate for each of the streams that you're doing. Generally, something in the range of 3,000, 3,500 kilobits a second, give or take, for your average 1080p stream nowadays, as a minimum. So you're using somewhere in the range, if you're doing 3 streams, of something in about 10 megabits per second consistent upload that is really needed in order to pull off a show without any technical glitches. And you'll find a lot of Twitch streamers nowadays have that way higher. 6,000, 6,500 or something is not that uncommon. But of course you can't do that when you're doing 3 streams at the same time, unless you happen to be living in a place, which I don't, or you're getting that kind of upload bandwidth consistent. I am getting a consistent about 15. So theoretically it should not have been a problem, but clearly it was. Because as in recent weeks I started to have technical issues, what I thought might have been a solution to prevent, say, some of the skipping and things like that would be to increase the bandwidth a little bit, since I thought I had that headroom. Except I think in the last couple of weeks, it's actually made it worse. So, although I can talk tech specs till I'm blue in the face, it still feels like when it comes down to it, I set things up on my computer and I send it into an internet black box, and it comes out the other end a certain quality, doing certain stuff that seems to have random luck involved. I don't know. Either way, I could use some feedback. So what I have right now is all 3 streams, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, set to a consistent 3,500 again. And I basically just need to know is it better or worse for you as we go through the show here today. But this is all going to get cut for the final highlight because it's really just about people who are watching this live. I did want to get the word out about it. Also, just a quick technical note. The reason my lighting is a little weird today is I actually stole one of my spotlights. I'm painting a room upstairs, and the light is very useful for painting a room. So I'm sans a soft bright light here, which is why the light is a little harsh and kind of raw, as it were. But whatever, I don't care. And yes, I'm growing a beard back. So anyway, I wanted to get that technical note out of the way because I really do want to make sure the quality is up to a standard that I find acceptable. And it has not been the last couple of weeks. And so, 1, I apologize for that. But 2, I could probably use a little help making sure that it's all working. Quick note as well, I am in 720p right now. I'm not doing 1080p right now. So the original source video output resolution is 1280 by 720 at 30 frames a second. And I know that's a little behind the times right now, but I want to start there. And if I can then bump it up to 1080p, I will. So there we go. Have I tried unplugging it and then plugging it back in? As a matter of fact, I have. I plugged out all my USB ports and everything, and then I reset up the sourcing and XSplit just in case. But there we go. So, all right. I think that's it with the actual sort of pre-show, as it were. So, I think I'm going to actually start. So, in terms of everyone else, none of this ever happened. Hello and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am DDO's community manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for the next hour. Running around some of the new quests in Lord's March Plaza here with update 49 on my level 30 character. I thought we would just dig into one of the quests and just have some fun here while we kicked off a big weekend in DDO. We can talk a little bit about what's coming up, although you're seeing most of what we just spent the last 3+ months working on. So it's going to be, I think, a little bit yet until we're showing you Salt Marsh. But that's coming in the, on that day. And so we'll see where we are. Let me head over to chat. Welcome, everybody. No, I am not still using Skype for any bandwidth purposes, yeah. What will the weekend bonus be? I have it. As a matter of fact, I've got an extra special secret for those of you who are here, and feel free to post about it on the forums, and I suppose I probably could too. But I happen to know the next 2 weeks, and one of them is relevant, so I'm going to get to it. This weekend, kicking off late morning Eastern Time tomorrow, running through Sunday, will be a +5 Reaper XP boost, +5% Reaper XP boost, and +15% extra VIP. So, +15% extra VIP, and then a +5% Reaper boost. But the reason I wanted to give you 2 weeks, I happen to see on the calendar here, I oft miss it, or it's not quite written in or whatever. But we're on track at the moment. We're pretty filled out. So the following week, aka not this week, double daily dice XP. So save those gold rolls. Might I suggest not doing your next week's gold roll until sometime after Thursday, late morning Eastern Time? Up to you! Just saying. So, tomorrow, however, +5% Reaper XP boost and +15% extra VIP XP. One quick note as well, you still have time, but you have today to do the Champion Hunter Week. We had a Champion Hunter Week, so all the special stuff and the Hall of Heroes, Mysterious Remnants vendors available really through today until we turn on the next bonus. So go ahead and jump on that if you haven't gotten to it yet. Otherwise, I would mention this is our final weekend as well for double bonus points. So if you wanted to take advantage of double bonus points while you can, that would be through this weekend here. I'm just saying. I don't usually get too salesy here, but I know on double bonus points sometimes people want to know. So that's what's up. Otherwise, like I said, we're mostly hard at work on the next thing. And we've got plenty we can talk about, but we're not really there to in a position to talk about it yet. So we'll see how the rest of the show goes, huh? But there we are. I thought we just might have some fun and run a quest here. And just kind of take chat and see how the rest of the show goes. But for the most part, I don't think there's too much else to bring up, is there? I don't think we've got a whole lot of other news, as it were. This week was just a weekly restart this morning. We have a small patch being planned tentatively for next week, but I haven't actually seen what's in it yet. But I know the intention is to just take care of a little bit of polish and other bugs. I think a little bit of kind of follow-up work related to the double strike stuff, fixing a little polish there. And a few other things, but that'll be next week. But that's a pretty small patch from what I understand. So not a whole lot that I can talk about today, especially since I haven't seen the list of exactly what's in it. So, oh, I could mention that forum registration is down. I'm sorry about that. It's for both games. It is an external issue that's being worked on, related to sign up for a DDO or a Lotro forum account. So if that is you and you're trying to sign up, or if you are a longtime player but it's your first time logging in years to DDO.com and you're being asked to pick a forum name, can't do it. It just is spitting back a message saying something went wrong. And unfortunately, I, as the person who sees a lot, basically almost all community tickets, am aware that there are a bunch of you out there, and we're working on it. We have a ticket in, essentially, through the system, and it's getting worked on, but it's not currently fixed. So if you can't register for the DDO forums, that's why. That's been happening for about a couple of weeks now, actually. But it took us about 3 to 4 days to actually recognize that, wait a second, this is just like universal, nobody can sign up. Because a lot of times when people run into the issue, they don't really go through the support system, they're just like, try back later, I guess. And that's fine, too. But it took us a couple of days to identify that it was happening, and then we've been working on it, like I say, the last week or so. So I could mention as well that over on our big ENAD Global 7 side, there is a new video that went out. The CEO there kind of just put together a general video to introduce himself to more of the community of the various games that EG7, does. No DDO mentioned in there. No Lotro mentioned in there either. But it was more kind of just to the global audience there. But if you haven't checked that out, that's over. You can find a link to that, over on the DDO forums. And then the final piece I would mention is that we have a new trailer that finally got released recently for Update 49 here. Peril of the Planar Eyes. We weren't able to publish it in time for day of release. It just took a little bit longer to get through the tunnels, as it were. But it's done now, and it's out. And yeah, we actually would like to do like a little kind of similar style trailer for most releases going forward if we can, but we'll see. We'll see. But that's the thought. So if you like it, and if you think you want to maybe do something like that, head on over to our YouTube page. Give it a like. It would help. Oh, 15 megabytes a second upload? That actually feels pretty good to me, because I've got about 45 megabytes down and 15 up, which, for living in a, quote, rural area, it's not rural. I live in Massachusetts. But you know what I mean. I think I'm going to do the last one instead. Do I feel lucky, punk? No, I do not feel lucky. We're gonna go in on easy. There you go. I actually thought 45 and 15 is pretty good, man. Maybe you guys are all living in this utopia that I wish I were living in. A
slight fog in the corners of your vision.
Fastest darn internet I've ever had.
Oh, right.
Let me bring out some friends.
The House of Langor to find and retrieve the Eye of Dalquor. A monk calls to you from across the chapel. Hail, pilgrim. What brings you to our humble temple? Have you been led astray? For a moment, you almost lose
I will
your
get
resolve
to
and turn
chat
around,
here in just a second.
but you approach her regardless.
Oh, I could put out a call for something that might be pretty fun. So I'm going to be doing something kind of crazy here in the near future. And that crazy thing is on Saturday, May 15th, I am going to be recording, not publishing, but recording, a big 6-hour tabletop session of me playing being the DM, and basically going through a return to Shantakor. It's only 6 hours, though, so there's no way we're doing all of Shantakor. I can talk more about that in a second, but...
Mother Ashira tells you that only disciples of Langor are permitted to approach the Eye. Meet her in the Rose Chamber to start the initiation ritual.
Alright. So, it's just going to be basically like 3 to 4 encounters, is essentially what we're going to pull off in a 6-hour time frame using tabletop D&D.
With chandeliers dangling overhead. In its center stands a fountain with the clearest water you have ever seen. When you touch the water in this fountain, you feel almost weightless, as though you were floating just above the ground.
Monastery parrot. There aren't nearly enough of those. Also, serious, optional. Optional? Pet all the monastery animals? Optional? Pet all the monastery animals? Is it? Is it really? That's what I'm saying. I suppose it's optional in that you don't have to complete the quest. But... So, here's the deal. I actually need players for this. I need players who are willing to go along with the crazy with me and pull this thing off in a week and a half. And I've got one person in so far, and then I'm going to have a production assistant, my girlfriend on site, day of, to help with some things. So I've got my end covered, but I really need a few more players who are willing to put themselves out there. I've got names in my head of my dream team, but I want to put this call out to everybody. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for players who are willing to be on camera, must be on camera. This is video. I'm recording a video tabletop session. Virtually, you will be online on a webcam. You will be online on a webcam. So that's the first barrier to entry. And I recognize that for some that may be an immediate, okay then, well that's why I'm not doing it. And that's fine. But I'm specifically looking for that. Because I want the end production to have lots of people in it, right? And I'm going to be setting up... we're going to be using Fantasy Grounds for all the mechanics. And then I'm going to be setting up a virtual, a real-life, let's almost call it diorama box. Tabletop box, using all the tabletop supplies and fun stuff I've got. And we're going to actually have a camera on it.
A pattern of
so we'll be
stones
kind of having a cool
floor
little
of this
scene
chamber.
and all that sort of thing there.
These stones reflect all that keeps you from inner peace. Only when you have dimmed the final one will the magic containing the eye consider you an ally and allow you to approach.
Right. Alright. Oh, this'll be easy. I totally know what I'm doing. No, I don't. But let's try this. Good old clockwise and see where we end up, huh? I'm going to want to hit that to turn those two off. So let me... That's right though. Chat's probably trying to help me, but let me. Oh, they're only connected to that. See? Okay, so these have to be off. And that's gotta be that. And that's gotta be that. Okay, so then that's that. No problem. So then on that side, I just need to do this. And then on this side. Alright, so there's basically a corner mechanism is what you gotta worry about here. So you want to make sure that you got the 4 corners and the middle lit up, which I will be doing when I do this 4th one here. So there we are. Alright, so then if I go kaboink, kaboink, and then in the center, there we
You
are.
instinctively let out a sound.
Yeah,
as the
alright.
last light
Now let me get to
flickers
chat.
out, as if all the weariness you'd accumulated during your adventures has been laid
Do you have to be
rest.
online with the character in
Mother
order to get an
Ashira
Epic
nods
Destiny
sagely.
issue
You
fixed?
have passed the
Most
Lunchtime,
likely,
as
yes.
I had hoped. Come now, pilgrim,
Most likely, yes, you
and
will need
pray
to
for
coordinate a
the
time
return.
or be online
All
for CS
shall
to help you. I
become
know
as
that's
clear
frustrating
as the
right now.
sky after the rain.
What are the trailers used for? Are they used for actual marketing commercials? Well, we'll see ultimately. I mean, we're trying to do some things here, but
At first, you feel a sense of calm and relief. Yet
they
that relief
are
quickly
being dual
turns to
purpose,
dread as you notice that
including
something is
some
wrong.
kind of like
You steel your mind as you're
online
plunged into darkness.
ads that you see on social networks. So yes, but that's not a guarantee. It's always going to be that way. We'll see. We'll see. I am not aware at JCOM of a bug with new character mail. I'll have to kind of read up. Let me know more what you're talking about. $6 playing D&D, piece of cake. Yeah, I know. It actually, that's not the hard part. It'll be fitting it all into a nice arc, right? On the technical side, probably Discord. Probably, I assume that the video will be coming in from Discord. I'm open to other options, but probably Discord. I'm not sure what you mean. Someone said I'm doing Vecna on the feed on Facebook. No, it's nothing like that. I don't know where that comes from. Let's see. What server am I on? I am currently on Atlantis.
You blink awake. You realize with a jolt that you must have been asleep this entire time. Mother Ashira has vanished, but somehow you still hear her.
Oh, you're awake already? I had hoped my hypnosis would have a more lasting effect.
And I'm heading over
suppose
to
I shouldn't be
YouTube. Any chance
surprised.
for a new class
You did
anytime soon?
resist
Nothing
my
to announce
initial
there.
compulsion to send you away, after all. I suppose you won't just leave my subjects in the thralls of their sweet dream. There's no reason to lie anymore. I am what you seek. I am the Eye of Dalquor. The magic I have used to lull these mortals to sleep has kept me
I'm actually fine with
all
this. Let me see,
these
what do I got for
years.
shortcut?
As the eye's voice fades, a horde of quarry appear from the shadows.
This is a pretty long quest. Someone is saying, I don't think I'll get this done in the remainder of the time. Well, that's fine. Like I said, I'm just kind of really showing the stuff off anyway. It's not really about proving anything. So if I end up being like only halfway through it and it's 1 o'clock, it's fine. I'll just call it a teaser then.
You managed to defeat
It's fine.
them? How exciting!
I have run this quest though,
Well,
you know,
then,
a couple of times at least
come
at this
find me
point.
if
So
you must.
on live.
If you're able to reach the
So not
Twilight
entirely
Chapel,
ignorant.
you might be able to save the monks.
On the hardcore scene, last night, I am Mr. Slow
The floor
and
gives way.
or
You
steady,
plunge down into a
and or
shaft filled with the
dead.
monastery's support
but so
beams.
far not dead.
You hear the
So
eye's
far
clarion
not
voice
dead
echo around you.
on the hardcore.
Pity to watch
And
you fall
last
so
night, as a matter of
far.
fact, I ran through Shantcore. I didn't have time for the Sacred Helm yet, but ran through Shantcore and hit level 7. So that's where I am as we speak on the hardcore server. And I'm taking it super slow for me and as carefully as I can because I don't want to die. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I don't know. We'll see. If I can beat last year's 12, that would be sweet. Or last season's 12, that would be sweet. And if I can do better than that, if I can hit 20, even better. I would be a happy person were I to hit 20. And other than that, I'm getting about it. So. But that's gosh darn. Yes, Elizabeth over on Facebook. How, if you are interested in being a player for this thing, I need up to 6 people, right? And I've got 1. So there's room currently right now today for at least several more players here. And the way to get to do it would just, you know, ideally, I would say get in touch with me like on Twitter or something like that. But honestly, it's totally fine if you get in touch with me really through whatever method works for you. Message on the forums, Facebook, whatever, right? Just let me know that you're interested. I'm keeping an eye out here, and we'll kind of see where we end up. I'm gonna use my leap. Boink. Go. Might as well use it again. For safety. Boink. Some raid runs on the live stream would be nice. That sounds good. I've been thinking about that. I think the way to do that best would be to, say, pick a server, probably starting with Argo, and do some kind of coordinated forum thing where I would be like, next week I want to run
Turning the valve releases a rush of hot air from a vent in the
Mark
floor.
of Death on Argo or something like that, right? And then actually have people on the forum sign up old school and say, yes, I will be there at noon Eastern, or at 11:40 Eastern until whenever we get it done, or 1 o'clock, something like that, right?
You catch your breath after the difficult climb. Taking a look around, you spot unsealed doors by the chandeliers up above. Surely one of these doors must lead to the chapel where the eye awaits.
So yeah, just get in touch with me. That sounds great. All you need to be able to do, basic understanding of D&D. You don't need to be an expert, but you know, I'm not really looking to handhold someone of how to roll an attack die either. So somewhere in between that, right, is fine in terms of level of knowledge of Dungeons and Dragons. We'll be doing a character creation session privately first, at some point between now and May 15th, or a couple of nights. I'll just leave Fantasy Grounds open and be available on Discord to kind of help with character creation. And you just basically need to be able to hit the ground running when we start recording on Saturday, May 15th. You don't need to have a huge backstory necessarily for your character, just enough personality and something to kind of carry you through, you know, a 6-hour show. And then I'm looking for people who can stay relatively active. You know, sometimes us D&D folks tend to be introverts, and that's fine if you are, but I'm looking for someone who can at least kind of get into character and keep things going, help keep things going, help keep the ball rolling, as it were, throughout the afternoon as we go through these encounters and that sort of thing. So if that sounds like something that you'd be cool with, please do get in touch with me through really whatever means you can. But I've been keeping an eye on Twitter since I put it out there. But anywhere is just fine, so. In terms of benefits, there'll be a clear opportunity to promote whatever other kind of thing you're doing. You don't have to be like a YouTuber or Twitch streamer to do this, but I'm imagining, you know, someone who's currently doing that might hear this and be like, oh yeah, I could do that, right? If that's you, hey, you'll have plenty of chance to promo your channel and other creative endeavors, or any kind of creative endeavors you're doing, really. And then I already talked to you. All right. Here. Which way do I want to go? I think I want to go north to go up to the altar, right? And then sleep on the altar, go up to the next level. So I'm making my way back up, right? Okay, let me head on back quick to Twitch chat. I don't want to spoil too much about what I have going on for the broadcast, but let's just say I'm going to be pulling like some of our old marketing screenshots from Shanticor, and just some other kind of little goodies that I've been able to accumulate that I had relatively easy access to, which is, you know, part of the reason I chose Shanticor. But I've got like some cool music and things like that. It's gonna be neat. I think it's gonna be real neat. Did I mention? I started to mention. I don't know if I finished mentioning. I happen to have some what are called friends and family DDO point codes. Now these are codes that are meant for, you know, hey, your significant other, partner, roommate, brother, sister, whatever. Just to kind of, you know, help them play with you in DDO. And I happen to have some codes that I haven't given out yet. So, while SSG cannot offer any sort of, you know, compensation for this, I happen to have a few personal friends and family codes left, so I can get you a code for like 500 DDO points. And I know that that's paltry, given a 6-hour recording schedule and such of what I'm asking you, but at least a little something, right? So Anyway, that's a thing. It's a little tricky. That ledge is a little tricky. I ran into that the last time I did it, too. Yep. So, I'm imagining it a little more like some of the maybe more popular big tabletop streams. Now, I can't hit that level of quality. I don't have a production team. This is, after all, me and my living room and kitchen and stuff, you know, so let's be real here. But I do have the benefit of some kind of assets in that because of SSG. So I'm going to pull together what I can, and I think it's going to be a really cool session. And then the way this is going to get released is normally I do the third Sunday of every month on twitch.tv/DDO stream for D&D night on DDO stream. And however, during the months of generally May, June, July, I am busy with my son, who's home from school break and all that sort of thing, and it just makes it impractical largely to be able to do it, to commit to a Sunday tabletop rather than just spending time with my son, honestly. So I tend to not take those 3 months. But this year we haven't had a lot of luck finding someone to fill in those 3 months. So what I'm doing instead is this, which I think should be pretty sweet. I'm not going to be able to get to that door yet. Right? What am I missing? There's no lever there, and that door isn't undone yet. So there must be one on another level I didn't get yet. There were 2 doors down on this level, so... But it said... Oh, yeah, there's a door right there. Okay. Dwarf. So, there had been a little talk on the forums this week. I saw a little bit of chat about kind of a hint that was dropped during recent Q&A about some work being done for potentially salt marshes and loot. And we're not really in a position to talk about that yet, although, you know, we did hint that it's on the agenda. But the Players' Council in particular has seen kind of some level of early version, let's call it, of what might end up being a bit of a... I don't think it's going to be a complete, but I think it's going to be a substantive work being done on the Shard Seal Scroll loot system. And there's some work being done in that regard. I know there has been some talk on the forums about it this week, and a few things like that as well. So, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to talk more about that here in the coming weeks. All right. Titan, I am not sure what you mean. Can I explain the issues with crashes to desktop for people playing in windowed mode? I know that we have got, you know, additional work being done on load screen issues and that. Is that what you're talking about? I am right now playing in windowed mode, and I'm not crashing to desktop, so... Again, just because I'm not having a problem doesn't mean there's not a problem, but it means that I'm not having this problem, the exact problem you're telling me I'm supposed to be experiencing. So, what are you talking about? Give me a little more info here, if you can. I don't want to die. Alright. I can do this. I can do this because I'm a competent individual. Sometimes. Mostly not. Alright. Here we go. So I don't have any good news to say at this point about the loading screen issues, other than, you know, we had done the work in the recent patches on performance, and that work is continuing. And oh, I see. What is... Ah, there you are. Why, hello, Monastery Cat. All right. Yeah, I mean, we know that there are load screen issues happening, and we've been actively investigating them for some time now, for a couple weeks now. And although we don't have anything, you know, great to announce today, it is something we're working on, right? So. I don't think this is right. I don't remember this. This doesn't seem right. Must have already been here, right? Oh, okay. The eye in the hand is what the Vecna thing's about. Yay! I didn't pet the... Ah! Yay! You know, guys, I think everything's gonna be alright. Well, alright, let me quick pop over to Facebook, take a look at chat. We do not have any kind of immediate plans for like an HD remaster or something like that, sorry. Nothing to say about the level cap increase as well. Question on Facebook about making Shadowfell Conspiracy available for DDO points. That is something we would like to do in the future. It's on the list, and hopefully that, along with gifting DDO points, would be something that you know we're continuing to look at. So, you know, we'll see. Nothing to announce today, though. At least I'm not playing AD&D. Imagine the time I need for calculating rolls. Yeah, we could have a Thaco slide ruler. That's what we could do. We could have a virtual Thaco slide ruler. But no, it's yeah, it's gonna be 5th ed. Yeah, so Fantasy Grounds is a bit of a learning curve for those who have never used it before. But the way that I'm going to be using it is pretty simple.
Drop down. The room is blocked by a magic barrier.
Why, sure, certainly it is. All right. But for the purposes I'm using it, should be pretty all right. I think we can largely get that done.
Alas, so near and yet so far. If you ever hope to reach me, you will need to choose between the 2 trials I have prepared for you.
The eye's voice fades, and the vines blocking your path forward disappear. Stepping into the circle in this room,
So, this is what you chose? Very interesting. Let's see how you fare.
you rise from the altar.
This is Cindy
The monk
Robinson.
from your dream stands motionless before you, his eyes glazed and empty, as if he were still asleep.
My disciple! This heathen wants to destroy an idol of your god,
Says the eye. When the sleepwalking monk hears those words, he lunges toward you in a panicked frenzy.
Fun fact for those of you who don't know this, and this would be those who maybe haven't been quite as tuned in. Cindy Robinson, who did the DM voice work for this, is a very gifted and talented voice actor who has done all sorts of other cool things as well, up to and including being the voice of The Purge, of the Purge TV series. So if you ever happen to have seen that old Purge TV series, and you hear that kind of public service announcement voice, that's the same person doing this. Yep. That's actually, I totally agree. I think Cindy Robinson would make for a fantastic audiobook reading. I don't get the impression that finding work is a particular concern at the moment, but that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I would love that. You know, how about I start using my Divine Punishment? I've been kind of neglecting doing that because my fights haven't really felt long enough to worry about it. But, yes, how about I actually start doing some DPS? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I should defeat the thing. Or at least try. I would say the odds of DDO doing Dragonlance content, says the question being asked on YouTube, pretty low. Never say never on anything, but I'm guessing pretty low. Doesn't get it. Yeah, there was a time, what, 5-7 years ago where the concept of doing a Ravenloft would have been just like, what? No way was that ever going to happen. And that totally happened. So, who knows? Yeah.
You've managed to knock down the Sleepwalker without fatally injuring him. With luck, by the time he awakes, the Eye of Dalquor will be long gone from his temple.
I know, and then Sharn and Feywild, right? So, who knows? Who knows?
The crystal smashes to smithereens, dispelling the barrier above the Twilight Chapel.
And you people said I wouldn't get it done by 1 o'clock. Who's laughing now? Oh, wait a second, nobody's laughing. Oh, did I actually mess up there? No, right? Did I mess up there? What am I doing? Oh, here we go. Jump down into the Twilight Chapel. I think I screwed up. Oh no, it's 12:57. Can I fix it in time? Did I pet you? Yes. There we go. Twilight. Now, if I do this down here, right? No. Which one's that? Good stuff there. Right. Oh. Do I really just jump down? Maybe I do. Or maybe not. Oink. Alright, so I'm not going to make it quite in a few minutes here. Yeah. I ran into this when I was running this last time by myself, too. Would have thought I'd remember what I did. Alright, well, at least I'm back to where I was, or close to it. Rubble. That's... I missed a ladder on a wall? Okay. Let me head back then. Oh, I missed a ladder on the wall. Okay, well, let me take a look. Let me take a look. You mean the vines? It's not a ladder. Okay. Too far. Oh, ladder on the wall over here. There you go. All right, thank you. Thank you. And now I would want to jump. I don't want to jump down there, though. Jump. Where do I go? Do I take this? Okay. Okay. Someone help me out here. If you can. Oh. No. What do I want? Do I really want... I don't want to jump down here, do I? Or do I jump down here? Do I jump down here or not? Oh, no. I'm afraid. I guess let's see. This looks like the temple to me. Failure. Failure, then. Alright, well. You know what? We'll do this all. Okay. Did I talk to you? I thought so. I thought so. Yeah. Alright, you know what, though? I think we're going to wrap it up here. Although I am back Twilight. Maybe I could give it one more minute. If I can figure out my idiocy. So we'll go back here. And we'll go back here, right? Oh, I need to find a level to open the purple floor. Right. Okay. Thank you. And that, I believe. Oh. Yeah. This is where I want to go, isn't it? Down here? Yes, it is. All right.
You drop down into the Twilight Chapel. Mother Ashira's dusty, desiccated corpse
Yay!
lies next to the eye of Dalquor.
For years I have lulled these mortals to sleep. Years during which they believed they kept me contained. When in fact,
I had hit the liver. I just hadn't gone to the floor. There we go. Thank you, everyone. All right. Well, that means we get to take a look at the loot.
Them awake?
I'll go a
You've
few
seen
minutes
how
long and
happy
do
they
this.
are now. It would be
Yep.
such a shame to rip them away from their happiness, to pull them back into this world with all its grim chaos. If that is truly what would bring you peace, I will oblige you. But if you believed these trifling illusions are my true strength, prepare to be disappointed.
You are pushed back into your dream by a force too powerful to resist. When you rise, you hear the Eye of Dalquor's chilling voice.
One last challenge left. One final dream.
Deadly fire elementals rise out from the prayer handles.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that is going to wrap it up with the show. There's certainly no further information of value to be had here on this show here today, but I do want to thank you very much all for being here. And next week, I'm not sure quite what I'm going to do yet. I think there's a part of me that thinks I might return to hardcore for a couple more weeks here, just to kind of see if I can catch myself not dying on the stream. And otherwise, just sort of hang out and have some fun. I know in the relatively near future we're going to have our first preview, presumably, of Salt Marsh. But we're just entering May here, and it's going to be a little while yet on that. So I'm not expecting anything in the next couple of weeks that I can think of in terms of, like, say, previews and that. Just a small patch next week, and I'll be working on release notes later this week on that. And that's just really a follow-up patch to our last patch to catch a few things that didn't make it in this one. So. Hardcore basically runs through June. I'm going off the top of my head here, but I believe it's like through June 29th. Yeah, Divine Punishment is my fan. I'm a fan of Divine Punishment, rather. I like it a lot. This character is not, you know, Mr. Uber DPS, as I say. But whatever.
As the statue crumbles to dust,
That's it.
its twin counterpart springs to life.
Hi, twin counterpart. I've been expecting you. In terms of why someone is asking on Facebook why we've never translated the game to Spanish, and really it's a matter of what kind of localization infrastructure long-term can we support. And DDO only really supports English. Up until 2011 or so, we had a German and French client, but those are no longer relevant or functional, really. So we don't really have localization for DO. It's possible someday in the future that could change, but it's the work is a lot more than, say, quote, just translating the game bit to another language. There's a whole kind of structure and infrastructure that has to exist in order to support that kind of localization. And we just have not, for DDO, really opted to be able to support that. I mean, I think in a perfect world, we'd love to offer the game in far more languages and everything. It's just that that infrastructure is not likely to exist. It just doesn't make sense for us to do that. Unfortunately. I have no idea why the sentient jewel of the covetous from the Curse of Strahd raid is not in the rune turn-in list. I simply don't know. There's a part of me that would have thought, well, maybe that's because you need to own the content pack, but if the Sharn stuff's in there, then or the Feywild stuff's in there. We have to follow up on that, I guess. I mean, there is definitely value in being able to offer it to as many languages as you can. I don't think it's necessarily I mean, it would be lovely. It would be wonderful. But I just don't see that too happening anytime soon. If it was as easy as just making it happen, you know? So talking a significant investment in a lot of infrastructure. Yeah, Satir's not being particularly helpful, is he? What if I bring him over to me?
You finally managed to slay the last illusion the Eye of Dalquor has crafted for you. Then something snaps in your mind, and you're jolted awake. As you blink awake, the Eye of Dalquor sighs.
Well, I have no more tricks. Despite the challenges I have thrown at you, here you stand. I suppose my reign over this monastery has come to an end. Drained of power yet again.
I
For
mean,
the moment, at
for a
least,
common one, that's pretty good.
you have managed to break the spell and cure these monks of their peaceful sleep. Yet I still
I picked
live,
up one of the mysterious remnants,
and
didn't I?
still dare to dream. Now
Two
that
pets.
the eye of
Two
Dalcor's
pets.
magic has been disrupted,
Unpet.
the monks will
Yeah.
slowly begin to rise from their long, reluctant slumber.
All right. Well, now we are done with the quest here. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I really do appreciate you being here, and I will see you at the bottom of a long pit next week. Have fun, everyone.